Hello everyone, this is Simple Math for you, and today we are going to continue the revision, the selected final revision and practice, and this is part 2. أهلا بكم من جديد في Simple Math for you، واليوم سنكمل المراجعة لبعض الدروس للمراجعة النهائية، وسنقوم بمراجعة 4 دروس من الفصل الثاني عشر أو الوحدة الثانية عشر. Today we are going to revise logical arguments and line relationships, and we are starting. Let's start. Identify the alternate interior, consecutive interior, and corresponding angles for angle 1 by writing the appropriate letter in the correct location in the diagram. Let's recall how we are going to identify. Remember the topics related to the parallel lines and transversals. Actually, for the alternate interior, we were using letter Z or similar to in all rotations and reflections. For example, this is also alternate interior. Alternate interior angles means both angles will be interior, and each angle will be on a different side of the transversal. Consecutive interior looking like letter C or U, you can say, and corresponding angles looking like letter F, also can be upside down F. One interior, one exterior, and both of them on the same side. The last one, which is not mentioned here, which is alternate exterior. Alternate exterior, you couldn't find actually a letter similar to. So let's see now. One is here. So the alternate interior angle with 1 will be here. So A is here. Consecutive interior angle, let's change the color. Consecutive interior angle, that means letter U or C. So this will be here, and this will be letter B. Last one, which is corresponding angle. So that means we are going to find out an angle like here, C, corresponding angle with 1. That is combining with 1 with the letter F, both of them on the same side of the transversal as you see, and one interior, one exterior. So we have answered the question. If line DE is parallel to line GF, what is the measure of angle DFG? DFG is this one. Let's follow the letter DFG. This is the angle. As you see, this angle is alternate interior angle with this one. So if the lines are parallel, alternate interior angles will be congruent, corresponding angles will be congruent, alternate exterior angles will be congruent, but consecutive interior angles will be supplementary, means having sum of 180. So if you are able to find this angle, which we are able to, actually, this is the angle that we are looking for. This angle form a linear pair with 1, 2, 5. So this angle is 180 minus 125, which is 55. That means our angle will be 55 degrees because it will be equivalent to that one. Or another way also, you can say that this is 125, and this angle is alternate exterior angle with this angle, right? We are looking for which angle? We are looking for DFG, which is this one. That one is 125 because alternate exterior angles are congruent. So same thing here. This angle will form linear pair with the other one. So it will be 180 minus 125, which is 55 degrees. If measure of angle EFG is 27 degrees, so EFG, it's better to put all the measures on the angle. So it is 27 degrees. And measure of angle, the other one here, is GFH. GFH is 65 degrees. What is the total measure? EFH. So EFH is this one. Follow, EFH is the total one. Of course, it will be the total, which is 27 plus 65, which is 92 degrees. Be careful. Sometimes you will need to subtract if you know the total and you need one of them. Now, if measure of angle LMN, so this one is 43. Now, angle LMN is congruent to OMP. OMP is this one, so it is also 43. What is measure of angle NMP? NMP is this one. As you see, and it's very clear that all these angles form a line. That means they have a sum of 180. So you can add 43 plus 43 and subtract their sum from 180 degrees, and you will gain 94 degrees. If measure of angle QPS, QPS is this one, 37, and PQ is parallel to TR. This line is parallel to this line. If the lines are parallel, then the other criteria that we have mentioned before, the corresponding angles or alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles are congruent, and also the consecutive angles are supplementary. So you have to put that into your mind when you solve. What are measure of SPT? SPT means we are looking for this one. And also measure of PSR. PSR is this one. So you can start whatever you like. Now, as you see here, this angle is right because this line is perpendicular, as you see, perpendicular, so it's right. Since these lines are parallel, so this line will be also right. Alternate interior angle. Since all this is right, means the sum of angles is 90 degrees. If you know one of them is 37, so the second one is 90 minus 37, which is 53 degrees. So we are done with that one. We know now this is 53 degrees. Now, what about this angle? This angle, as you see here, is forms consecutive interior angle with the other one, letter U or letter C, whatever you want. So this is 180 minus 37, which is 143 degrees. Next question. If AB is parallel to CD is parallel to EF, all these lines are parallel to each other. So all these properties apply that we mentioned before. Measure of angle 1 is 142. So we will write here 142. It's better to write everything on the diagram. What is measure of angle DEF? We are looking for DEF, means this angle. So let's start from here. Now, if you know that this is 142, this angle form consecutive interior angle with that one. So starting with this is 180 minus 142, which is 38. So this is 38, done. Now I will change the color. Both angles together form right angle. So if this angle is 38, then this angle will be 90 minus 38, which is 52 degrees. Done. Now, since this angle is 52 degrees, and this is alternate interior angle with that one, so this one is definitely 52 degrees. So the answer needed is 52 degrees. A construction square forms a right angle if the edges of the board are parallel. So these are parallel lines. Find the measure of angle 1, 2, and 3. Let's start. Now let's start with 1. If you look at 1 here, this is consecutive interior angle with the 35. So measure of angle 1 is 180 minus 35, which is 145 degrees. Done. Angle 2. Angle 2 with the right angle with the 35 form a line. So they are all add up to 180 degrees. So we can say that angle 2 is 180 minus 35 plus 90, which is 55 degrees. Also, you can say 90 minus 35, which leads to the same result, of course, because if this angle and this, if one of the angles is 90, the rest will be 90, so you can do it in both ways. Measure of angle 3 form as you see here, consecutive alternate interior, interior consecutive interior angles. So measure of angle 3 plus angle 2 together will be 180 degrees. So this will be 180 minus, let's change the color because we have here used another color. So it is 180 minus 55, which is 125 degrees. Now moving to the slope topic. Now let's recall, when are the lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Remember, if we are comparing the lines, we have one of the three options. We have either slope of the first line equals to slope of the second line, that means the lines are parallel, or we have slope of the first line times the slope of the second one is equal to -1, means the first one is negative reciprocal of the other. Example, 2/3, and the other one is -3/2. They have a product of -1. 2, for example, another example, we have the first one is -2, the second one will be 1/2. Their product is -1. So you just flip it and flip the sign. We have a special case here when we have a vertical line and horizontal line. Example, if y equals to 3 and the other one y equals to 1/3. This is a horizontal line passing through 3, y equals to 3. This is a horizontal line passing through y equals 1/3. So the lines are parallel. We have here y equals to 3 and x equals to 3. Now this is horizontal, this is vertical, irrespective of the value of x. It's just x equals to a number, y equals to a number. In this case, the lines are perpendicular. Here the lines are parallel. Also we have, for example, x equals to 0, x equals to -2, the lines are parallel. So if both are x's or both are y's, then the lines are parallel. If one of them x equals to a number, y equals to a number, wherever is the number, then the lines are perpendicular. This is a special case because we cannot apply the product equals to -1. If it is none of case 1 or case 2, nor case 2, so this is case 3, which is neither. Neither means what? They are intersecting, but not in a perpendicular. It's an angle, not a 90 degrees. So that means neither the slopes, the slope is not equal to each other, and also the product is not equal to -1, or none of them is vertical or horizontal. Now let's go back to the question. The question says, the equation for line M is y equals -2/3x, which equation represent line perpendicular. Perpendicular, so first we will get the slope, since this is already written in the form of the slope intercept form. The slope here is -2/3. So we will look for any equation having negative reciprocal, and the only one fits is this one. No need to solve anything now. It's just comparing, because here the slope is 3/2. As you see, if you multiply 3/2 by -2/3, you will have -1. Line M is represented by this equation. Match each equation to the term that accurately describes its relation to line M. As you see here, the equations here given in decimal. So let's convert the 2/4 to decimal. 2/4, you can use the calculator or you can divide. This is equal to 0.4. So whenever you have a slope 0.4, then the line will be parallel. So this fits with parallel with that line. Now, when you have 5/2, -5/2, which is the flipping, yani -2.5, then it is perpendicular. So this fits with that one. This is perpendicular, or simply you can check by multiplying the slopes. It will give you -1. The other one, which is neither, because one is only the opposite of the other. It's just changing the sign. So it will not fit with perpendicular or parallel. Line J is parallel to line K. They are parallel to each other. That means we can apply what we can see here. Corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, whatever. As you see here, these angles are corresponding angles. So the theory here is corresponding angles. Since the angles are corresponding angles, then they are congruent. Congruent means equal in measure. That means we can make equation, setting the equation in this form, solving this equation, leading to x equals to 14. Find the value of x that will make k parallel to m. As you see, they are in the form of z, means alternate interior angles. So they are congruent, so we will make them equal to each other. For x plus 1, this one, or 11, this one, 11 equals to 6x minus 13. So 4x minus 6x is -11 minus 13. -2x is -24. And x is 12. Ahmed needs to cut a parallelogram. Parallelogram is this shape, polygon, متوازي الأضلاع. We have two pairs of parallel segments or parallel lines, and that means this is parallel to that, and this side is parallel to this. Hence, we can use the consecutive interior angles as we are now familiar with. Find the value of x, then x plus the 120 should equal to 180. So x is 180 minus 120, which is 60. This is the answer, 60 degrees. Julie is building this staircase with the rail. What measure of angle 1 will ensure that the rail is parallel to the bottom of the staircase? Now, if we want this side to be parallel to this side, then the sum of those angles should be 180, because they are consecutive interior angles, or same side interior angles, in other words. So that means measure of angle 1 plus the 47 should equal to 180. That means measure of angle 1 is simply 180 minus 47, which is 133 degrees. And this is called converse of consecutive interior angles theorem. Next, find the value of A so that the lines represented by equation 1 is this one, equation 2 is this one, are perpendicular. So we will use the word perpendicular here in a very good way. Perpendicular means it should come to our mind that the slopes have product of -1. This is equation 1. To find the slope, I will write it in the form of y equals mx plus b. Divide. So y is -2 over 3x plus 24. So our slope here is -2 over 3. Now, the second equation, this is equation 1. Second equation, I will do the same thing. I will solve for y. So minus 8y is equal -ax plus 7. Dividing by -8. So y is negative over negative goes, so it's a over 8x minus 7 over 8. it is not clear. So this is our slope. Now, as you see here, this slope and this slope should have a product of -1, or in other meaning, slope 2 should equal to 3/2, which is the opposite and the reciprocal at the same time, opposite reciprocal of that one. So this slope should equal to a/8. And we will cross multiply to find the missing a. So 2 times a equals 3 times 8. Dividing by 2, so a is 12. Simply, we can play with the slopes whenever needed. Find the values of x and y that will ensure that lines M and N are parallel. Okay. If the lines are parallel, M is parallel to N, that means we can apply corresponding angle theorem, alternate interior angle, alternate exterior angle, whatever. From the first equation that we can see here, 3x plus y, they are forming consecutive interior angles. So their sum is 180. So we can say that 3x plus the y equals 180 degrees. This is equation number 1. Also, we know that the lines here intersect to form vertical angles. That means angle 3x is equal to x plus y. So we can say that 3x is equal to x plus y. And this is equation number 2. Now we have 2 equations with 2 variables. So we can use substitution or elimination to solve for x. Let's see how can we do that. Now first we have to combine like terms. So we have here 3x minus x, 2x equals to y. Or in other words, y equals 2x. So equation 2 will give us y equals to 2x. So we can substitute this value here. Use equation 2 in 1. So 3x plus y is 2x, will be replaced here, equals 180. So 5x is 180, and dividing by 5, so x is 36. Now, since we found x, we can simply use the y here, which is 2x, so 2 times 36, which is 72. We found both variables easily. This question is nice because it combines the properties of angles and system of equations at the same time. I like this question actually. Question 16. If angle 16 is congruent to angle 3, so let's see 16 and 3. What is the relation between them? As you see, this is the transversal that are located at. That means these lines are parallel. Not, yani we are looking for lines that are different than the transversal. So y will be parallel to z, and these angles actually are alternate exterior angles. Both are exterior angles. So that means we will choose C. Y is parallel to z. If angle 10 is congruent to angle 14. So this is the transversal. حدد الخط اللي هم الاثنين عليه. As you see, they are forming letter F, يعني corresponding angles. That means the lines, rather than this transversal K, اللي هم this line cutting A and B. So that means A will be parallel to B, but which property? Converse of corresponding angle theorem. So A is parallel to B. Yes, we are here. A is parallel to B, converse of corresponding angles theorem. The books are held up with bookends in the shape of triangles. Now, if measure of angle 1 is 58, What is measure of angle 2? As you see here, these form right angles. So if you know that measure of angle 1 is 58, simply measure of angle 2 is 90 minus 58, I mean 58, not 52, which is 32 degrees. The Alabama state flag is white and has two diagonal red stripes. If measure of angle 2 is 66, so this is the line we are looking at. This is one of the angles, 66. What is the name, what is the measure of angle 1? And the name, the theory used to find measure of angle 1. As you see here, this is linear pair. So linear pair theorem is used to find measure of angle 1. So measure of angle 1 is 180 minus 66, which is 114 degrees. This is measure of angle 1. Angle 2 and angle 4, 2 and 4 together, and measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 4 are supplementary, so 180 degrees. Also, measure of angle 4 plus measure of angle 5 is 180 because they are both supplementary. Now, angle 4 is 105. So what is measure of angle 5? Measure of angle 5, سهلة, easy. Measure of angle 5 is 180 minus 105, which is 75 degrees. This is the easiest. Now, measure of angle 2 plus angle 4 is 180. So, measure of angle 2 is 180 minus measure of angle 5 is 105, which is 75 degrees. So now we found this 75 degrees. So all what we have here is measure of angle 3 left. So measure of angle 3 is 180 because it's linear pair with 2 minus the 75, which is 105. Okay. Given measure of angle 8, 2y plus 6. This is angle 8. And measure of angle 5, this is angle 5, is 112. If G is parallel to H, so this is G, line G is parallel to H. And as you see, this is the transversal cutting them. 5 and 8 are located in such a way that they are what? Consecutive interior angles. Consecutive interior angles mean they have a sum of 180. So measure of angle 5 plus measure of angle 8 is equal to 180. Consecutive interior angles. And that means we will replace. So measure of angle 5, 112. Measure of angle 8 is 180, and you will solve. After removing and everything, so y is 31. Use the figure to find the value of x if measure of angle 3 is 2x. Now this is 3 and 8. First, we have to find a relation between them. Then you will set the equation. Now, are they equal? No. Are they supplementary? You cannot just judge like that. You have to find a relation between them. Actually, this angle is congruent to this angle. 8 and 5 are congruent because they are vertical angles. 5 and 1 are congruent because they are corresponding angles. So 3 and 8 will not be congruent. 3 and 8 will be supplementary because 1 and 3 together will form 180, or 3 and 5 together will be 180. So from here, as you see, I just marked them different colors to know the relations. So the orange plus the purple will be always equal to 180. You can also mark this, the blue. This is blue also. all these blues are equal, and all these reds are equal. This is congruent to that. This is congruent. This is congruent to that. So if we are finding relation between 3 and 8, that means their sum is 180. So measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 8 is 180, and we will replace. Finally, you can solve the equation, and directly you can find that x is 46. It's easy to be found. We want x only. We don't want any angle, any measure of the angle. Given the slope of line M containing those points is equal to -3, find the value of x. So slope formula says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Since he mentioned the slope, we have 2 points, we will apply that one. The slope is given to be -3. y2 minus 1, you know now how to find the slope. 2 minus 1 over x minus 2. So it is -3 over 1 equals -3 over x minus 2. You can do it with cross multiplication, or you can say that since both numerators equals to -3, then the denominators will be equal. That means x minus 2 is 1, so x is 3. Easy. Try with cross multiplication, it will work as well, no problem. Find the value of y that satisfies the condition that line D containing these 2 points is perpendicular of K with this slope. Since it's perpendicular to that one, so we will find our slope. Our slope will be -4, right? Because we know that it is flipping and reversing the sign, the negative reciprocal or the opposite reciprocal. So let's find the slope here. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. x2, which is 2, minus 1, will be equal to my new slope, which is -4. Now let's arrange it. So -4 over 1 is equal to y minus 2 over 1. y1 is 2 over 1, yani minus 2. So -4 is equal to y minus 2. So y is 2 minus 4, which is -2. This is the y. If it is parallel, you will use the same slope, which is 1 over 4, of course. Remember that. Find the value of x that satisfies the condition that line M containing these points. This is the slope. We will find it here as well. And we will try to find the slope. -6 minus -2 over x minus 4. This is the slope here, which is -6 plus 2, yani -4 over x minus 4. This is the slope here. Okay, what is the slope here? Slope here, this is, let's say, slope 2. Slope 1 is 4 minus 9 over 3 minus -2, which is -5 over 5, which is -1. Now, these lines are perpendicular to each other. That means the slope here will be the opposite reciprocal. Of course, this is -1 over 1. So slope 2 should be, this is negative, this be positive. 1 over 1, 1 means 1. That means I will make these equal. -4 over x minus 4 equals to 1. And you can cross multiply. So x minus 4 is equal to -4. -4 times 1, yani, which is -4. طبعا 1 times x minus 4, well, x minus 4. 1 times -4, -4, and x is 0. A parking garage ramp rises to connect 2 horizontal levels of parking lot. The ramp makes a 10-degree angle with the horizontal. What is the measure of angle 1 in the figure? As you see, it's very obvious that these lines are parallel because they are parallel to the horizon, and both are horizontal levels. since this is horizontal and this is horizontal, that means they are parallel to each other, and that means angle 1 with angle 10 together are consecutive interior angles, يعني their sum is 180. So measure of angle 1 is simply 180 minus 10, which is 170 degrees. You know, it's very obvious that this angle will never equal to that one. So it will be supplement to that one. We have two choices if we have parallel lines, either equal to or supplement to. Now, question 27, 7th Avenue runs perpendicular to 1st and 2nd streets. So we have here perpendicular lines. Since these lines, this is perpendicular, and this is 90, and this is 90, and these angles are corresponding angles, that means these streets are parallel to each other because of the converse of corresponding angles theorem. So Maple Avenue makes a 115 angle with 2nd Street. What is the measure of angle 1? So from the first one, from the converse theory, we know that the lines are parallel, and that means we can apply the series of parallel lines. And as you see, if you are looking for angle 1 is alternate interior angle with this one. So this is angle 1. This is the same as angle 1. And it's very obvious that angle 1 and the 115 together forming a line. That means measure of angle 1 is equal to 180 minus 115, which is 65 degrees. Of course, you can do it in another way if you like to. This is 115, since this is vertical with that. 115 and 1 together forming consecutive interior angles. That means they have sum of 180 degrees. So this is valid as well. With that, we are ending the module of chapter 12, and I hope it was a beneficial revision. See you in the next video, and the next video we are going to continue this special revision. شكرا لكم، وأرجو أن تكون المراجعة مفيدة لكم، وإن شاء الله سنكمل المراجعة في الفيديو القادم. انتظرونا وإلى اللقاء.